I don't. Quite frankly, I think that from both sides of the aisle, you've heard people call for his resignation. I think he's going to do every single thing he can here. But if you want the truth, I think that there are a lot of Democrats in the state.
Get 200 megabit internet and advanced phone for $69.98 per month with over 99.9% network reliability. Call 833-919-2113. That's 833-919-2113.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and thank you for watching. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies. We bring you the innovators behind the companies making the headlines in that space. Some are sponsored, some are invited, all are curated and focused on telling you, the viewers, their story. Here we go. Artificial intelligence tech solutions delivers robotics assistance devices and artificial intelligence-based hardware as well as software solutions for organizations. And with me is the CEO, Steve Reinhardt, to tell us about AITX. Give us an overview of the company, Steve. Like, how is it structured? What all do you have going on?
Thanks, Jane. I'm glad to be here. It's great to chat with you. At the end of the day, what Robotic Assistance Devices is doing, right? We call it RAD for short, and it's owned by AITX, Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. But what we're doing is we're delivering today solutions that help enterprise organizations save millions of dollars while performing critical security and facility functions.
Okay, so that's kind of your main mission. So tell me how you do that. You've got how many robotic devices? I mean, describe it. How does it all work?
Yeah, sure. So there's 5 main devices in the lineup right now, and it's going to be joined by more devices. But right now, for example, one of our devices is called ROSA, and it's a device that is specifically designed to combat some incredibly nagging and costly activities that happen at retail and various properties, specifically loitering, vagrancy, those types of issues where it's difficult and dangerous for humans to get involved. ROSA will perform those same jobs autonomously at a fraction of the cost of using a human resource.
So how does Rosa know there is a situation where she may need to intervene?
Yeah. So Rosa is built upon our platform, and our platform is artificially intelligent to some extent, depending on how granular you want to get as far as what that means. But using very sophisticated AI-driven algorithms for human detection, for loitering, for different types of behavior is how we then determine whether or not somebody is loitering or being a vagrant or exhibiting behaviors that shouldn't happen at that site. That could be precursors to assaults and other types of crimes on site. Okay. So using that technology, then Rosa will autonomously intervene with audio and visuals in order to tell the people, hey, you shouldn't be here. And then from there, we escalate to the point where, depending on how the situation escalates, law enforcement could be called to clear the area as needed. Okay. And we do that autonomously, again, at a fraction of the cost and without the risk if you were to use a human security officer.
Right. Now, so Rosa can... how well does that work? I mean, do you find that a certain percentage of the time, if Rosa says, what are you guys doing, go away, that actually happens? Like, how often does it escalate?
It's crazy, Jane. It's crazy, okay? What I'm about to share with you, it's hard for me to believe it myself, okay? But at this time, Rosa works 100% of the time.
What?
Now, I expect that I expect that the number will go down, of course, right? It's a relatively small sample set. We've got 20 devices going out to a major international retailer. They're being installed this week and next week. They'll all be installed in a few weeks from now. This client has persistent, violent, dangerous activities at their stores. And I'm really excited to deliver to them this solution. And will it work every time? Of course it won't. But if we're working 50% of the time, 80% of the time, any type there, we're way ahead of the game when you compare our cost versus the dollars saved.
Sure. I mean, if it leads to less cost in terms, and personnel are safer, things like that, I mean, it's, worth it. So, okay. So we've got Rosa. You mentioned 4 others, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about those.
Well, I want to bring attention to Romeo in the back here.
Okay.
Romeo is an autonomous, large robot that performs a lot of different functions, again, today, right? So first thing is there's always the scale question, Jane. I always get the scale question. How big is Romeo? Because if you don't see it beside someone, you think it's a little guy. Romeo is almost 7 feet tall, 850 pounds. It is a big guy, right?
It's like a transformer, like that would.
Yeah, it's big like a transformer, it's big. And if you have, positive intentions when you're on a property, you look at it and you say, hey, that's cool. Maybe I want to take my picture with it. Right? But if you're a visitor, you need help, you could go up and interact. It could give you directions or link you back to humans for additional help. If you've got malicious intent, you take a look at that thing and you're like, hey, maybe I should think twice. And then it starts interacting with you because you might be exhibiting behaviors that have been flagged as not necessarily positive. Then all of a sudden, with autonomous devices, we have accomplished, a security and facilities function at a fraction of the cost and without the risk to human.
What kind of behaviors does Romeo look for?
We're primarily looking for humans and vehicles in times and places where they shouldn't be, because that's often a precursor of robbery, break and entry, assault, vagrancy, loitering, those types of things. So by clearing out those areas, which is really one of the primary functions of human security guards, by clearing them out with our autonomous low-cost devices, we're accomplishing that task. We're avoiding the risk of the potential solution. That's part of the core of our tech.
Well, thank you so much. Fascinating to hear about the company and just how we're going to be living in the future. Thank you, Steve.
Jane, I enjoyed our chat. I look forward to the next one.
GlobeX data just launched in the United States. And with me to explain how that is going is CEO Alon Gahi. Great to have you back.
Thank you, Jane. Great to be here, and hello to our viewer.
Yeah, and I know this was a big deal for you to launch in the U.S. It was about a month or so ago. How's that going?
That's doing amazing. We officially launched July 15, but on July 12, we started a little bit of a pre-launch, and the subscribers have been increasing, and we're up 700% compared to the month before in subscriber base. And of course, it's just the beginning, but we're very excited to see what people are saying, what they look for. We have we now know that a business model works, so that's really a big thing.
Well, and for some people that maybe secure is new to them, can you tell us what it is that you do?
Sure. So GlobeX Data is a company that was founded in Switzerland about almost 15 years ago, and we have two solutions: Secure and Secure Safe. Secure Safe is a document management tool, a password management, mostly geared to enterprise and small business. And Secure, spelled S-E-K-U-R, is a suite of product. And we have Secure, which is a secure email and a messenger as well, or secure messenger. So secure sells for $10 a month per user, and then the messenger is $5 a month. The big difference that we do is that we don't use any big tech platforms, so we're not hosted on Amazon Web Service. For example, the messengers like Signal are hosted there, and then you have WhatsApp. So if you want a better alternative, and definitely private, because all our data is stored in Switzerland, you would buy a secure messenger. And if somebody doesn't have the messenger, which is very unique, you're able to invite them via email to chat with you, even if they didn't download the application. So that's a pretty cool tool. And then our email also has a similar feature where you send secure send. Let's say you want to send a sensitive document to your banker, your client, your patient as a medical record. You can use secure send, and then the recipient would get a link to click on, and they can use secure reply. And the whole transaction happens only in our encrypted environment in Switzerland. So that's very unique. And we also don't use open source coding like 99% of the software out there.
Well, there was just a study done today called, it was from Social Catfish was the name of the group, but there was like 4.2 billion in internet fraud in the US in 2020. And a lot of it was phishing emails. So this is a growing problem. People have been losing thousands of dollars. The hackers are getting more creative and sneaky. And so, I mean, it's something people should consider.
Well, the big problem is that, first of all, I should have said, we never data mine your information. Data mine is the biggest problem to start. And then 95% of all hacking in the world start with email. So all financial fraud, everything, they get into your email without your knowledge, and then they get to know your pattern, where you bank, what you do, and then they siphon money out of you at the end of the day. So we don't do any data mining. That's critical. We can't even look into your data, and we also obey by the Swiss privacy laws. So nobody, no lawyer, nobody can subpoena that data unless you commit a penal crime in Switzerland, which is very hard to do unless you go and maybe kill someone in Switzerland, of course. But, you know, most people wouldn't go there.
It wouldn't be bad, yes. Now, are you also expanding in Latin America?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. We signed an agreement with América Móvil, which is the 7th largest telecom operator in the world. It's owned by Carlos Slim and his family, traded on the New York Exchange under AMX. So we launched Secure Messenger in Mexico. We have an office there. América Móvil total has about 280 million subscribers, and the product is very popular. People are looking to get away from WhatsApp. Even regular people in Mexico, you have business people, you have people who need privacy, because, you know, they don't want to be hacked every time and have their identity stolen every day. So that we have high hopes for Latin America. We're going to start with Mexico first, and within 6 to 9 months, we're going to move to Colombia, Panama, and other countries as Mexico rolls out. This is going to be a very big market. Latin America is an emerging market. It's next door, very easy to deal with, and we're with the largest player in the continent.
Okay, very interesting. And then just finally, what are the main concerns that you hear from customers?
Well, a big concern is privacy. For example, people say, well, I don't want my data to be mined. That's number one. Security is always a concern, but people say, well, you know, WhatsApp is encrypted too, so what's the difference? But the privacy is the biggest concern. And the fact that we're Swiss-based, we have the Swiss law, but most importantly, we never data mine you. And that's the biggest feedback that we get, you know, so that's encouraging. We have people now who want to switch to their businesses. So we're going to target businesses starting September. There's 33 million small business in the United States. You know, we believe that we can get a percentage of those guys as well.
Okay, well, congratulations on your successful rollout in the US and Latin America, and I look forward to updates.
Thank you, Jane.
RSHN is a traded company, but HeliosDX, through acquisition, makes up the entirety of RSHN today. So with me, the CEO, Ashley Sweat, to kind of explain all this, the history of RSHN, what is HeliosDX, and let's just start. Tell us about RSHN, Ashley, and what brought you to this day.
Sure. Thanks, Shane. Thanks for allowing me on the platform as well. So RSHN is a 21-year-old company that I don't think many people really know or understand. Even the current shareholders may not know the history of the company. But over the last 21 to 22 years, RSHN has gone through several different restructurings. They tried to bring in and go after other businesses, of which many have failed. So recently, in March of 2021 this year, I acquired the control block of RSHN. So I took over RSHN with plans to kind of change its history moving forward. One of the first actions that I've done is we've updated the filings of RSHN. We've got their financials updated. We've moved them to pink current on the OTC market. And now we're starting to really put our full plan into effect. So the first action we've done here recently is we acquired HeliosDX, which I'm also the CEO of currently. So we acquired that company, brought it into RSHN effective on July 1st of this year. And so RSHN itself moving forward is going to kind of act as a holding company, if you will. There'll be other companies that we'll look to bring in here moving forward into the future.
Okay. So what does HeliosDX do?
Yeah, great question. So HeliosDX is a diagnostics laboratory. So we focus on urinalysis, so urine toxicology. We do behavioral toxicology, genetics. We do infectious disease, which obviously over the last 18 months has really jumped into the mainstream through COVID. And we're looking to expand our test menus as we move forward. Okay.
So what is your outlook on that industry? That seems like an area with a lot of growth and a lot of interest potentially. What's your outlook?
Yeah, great question. So, the diagnostic space in general, it's evolving. The technology is growing. Testing capabilities is growing. So, the future in diagnostic space is very, very bright. That's one of the things that we've done at HeliosDX is we really aligned ourselves with some of the top companies and manufacturers in the space. We do business with Cardinal Health, Thermo Fisher, to name a few. And we chose to align ourselves with these companies because as the space evolves, technology evolves, these are the companies that are on the cutting edge.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot coming up. So that's great. Thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing with us. PetProducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Pad Inventor Company. Ehave is a provider of digital therapeutics, and the therapeutics deal with evidence-based therapeutic interventions, and they're used primarily for treatments for brain diseases and also disorders with psychedelics and other medicines. So with me is the CEO of Ehave, Ben Kaplan, to talk about really this is an emerging industry. I've been seeing more studies on this lately. And Ben, can you give us an update? I know there was Ketadash was something that you were working on, the launch of that. Can you give us an update on the revenue model for Ketadash?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Jane, good morning. It's good to see you again. I'm live here in Kingston, Jamaica. I was just down here for a psychedelic conference, and it's very exciting what we're all getting into. Ketadash is a concierge service for home delivery of ketamine with licensed professionals using our protocols. And we look to launch hopefully in Q4 here in Miami. We are in the process now of finalizing the technology end of it, the legalities, and the transportation, which will be a mobile ketamine clinic. So it's really exciting. We see hopefully early 2022 revenue streams coming in from that subsidiary.
So you're launching in Miami. Will there be a nationwide rollout? I mean, what does it take to get something like that through all the permits and all the approval processes?
That's a good question. Because in the U.S. we have 50 states, each one has their unique regulations on medical clinics, doctors, and patients. And so we chose Florida, A, because I'm located here in Miami, and B, it's a large populous state. So we looking to go up and down the coastline. So we started in Miami, we'll go up to Palm Beach, then over to Tampa, up to Orlando and Jacksonville. And once we have locked down Florida, we'll look at other states that have the same kind of regulations as Florida, and then try to partner with clinics in those states to license our technology, IP, and our operations. And to go out nationwide will probably be a few years. Once we prove the motto out in Florida, we'll be able to duplicate it in Texas and some other friendly states. But today, Florida is our ground zero, and we see multiple ketamine clinics that are opening up throughout the state. So that's a great partnership for us to have many people that can use our product.
Thank you so much for joining us again.
Yeah, thank you, Jane, for me today. Have a good day.
Enjoy the benefits of the world's first patented time-release hemp-based CBD topical cream. Hourglass has achieved increased topical bioavailability of cannabinoids that slowly release our CBD over an extended period of time. Hourglass is 99% CBD, THC-free, and lab-tested, and verified by scanning our QR codes. Visit hourglassonlinestore.com.
Strikeforce is a unique cybersecurity company that provides mobile device security and also secure video conferencing. And with me is Mark Kay, the CEO of Strikeforce, and George Waller, the Executive Vice President. So great to have you both.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So Mark, let's start with the share price, currently 4 to 5 cents. What is Strikeforce doing to increase the share price?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I can't say why we're trading at that level, but I believe our stock will most definitely increase greatly once our sales get going and we announce some deals, which we should be doing very shortly. Also, we're doing much more marketing and some very good companies that George will discuss after me, which already has a major positive effect on us with cost not an issue. We're also getting very close as we keep adding updates to our secure safety chat that meet the needs of many of our potential clients that are constantly testing our product and being impressed by it, such as recording, which has become a legal issue, and now a final testing only weeks away. Keep in mind, we have spent 1.5 years building our safety chat, where much of our competition spent many years, and they still aren't as secure, which is becoming critical. We are growing rapidly as we work very diligently.
So, and of course, revenues, big part of share price. And you talked a little bit about sales. I mean, what are some things that you've got going on that might boost revenues?
Yeah, and first of all, in increasing the share price, by the way, the stock price went up from 0.0022 cents last December to about 5 cents. And yes, it went much higher for a couple of days or so when we had some shareholders that bought our stock at 30 cents, but complain now that it's around 5 cents. However, I actually see our stock as a huge increase from last December to the current price. I believe we'll beat that price over time, and who knows to what level, I can't say by when, but revenues are coming and some deals have been achieved already. Please keep in mind, we're still aiming to move to the NASDAQ. Mm-hmm. So in terms of, can we share information about deals that we've done? We've completed 2 deals recently, which is a big step. One is an investment firm buying our secure safety chat, bringing in other investment companies that will use safety chat, and will be putting out a PR with a testimonial about the IT group, mentioning the company. Who IT is an analyst company that by my partner George will discuss also further. The other deal is a decent sized company with unique API we are now developing, and they already paid us for about half of the development towards revenue, which is great. This deal will take a number of months to complete, so it won't be something that I could say will be weeks away, which should also provide us a big opportunity with the APIs that George will be discussing.
So George, let's bring you in. So I understand you just released V2.1. So explain what that is exactly, and will that appeal to small, medium, large businesses? How will that work?
Sure, that's a great question, Jane. Thank you. So Safety Chat 2.1 is our latest release, as you just mentioned. And until now, Safety Chat was mostly for the small size company. There were a couple of things that we still needed to build into it. Now that we released 2.1 has all those great features that the medium and larger companies that we've been meeting with over the last year, that they asked us to build in. For example, we now have a corporate shared database. That is very, very important, because as a large company, you want one centralized location for all of your shared contacts, and then you also want an individual database for each individual or meeting manager, meeting creator. We built that in. In fact, the system we're on right now with you, they don't even have that in this system. So that one, it gives us a huge advantage over the marketplace. The second thing is a lot of the larger, larger clients have asked us, can you build a really cool tool to import your CSVs from multiple databases? So we went ahead and built that. And since we're about security, Jane, we also went ahead and built more authentication methods. We now have 8 different authentication methodologies for our Safety Chat. There isn't another product on the market that has more than one method. We have 8 methods. And in fact, what's really exciting is that 2 of those methods are biometrics. We now have fingerprint that we've been using, and we're now introducing probably this week, next week, facial recognition. So imagine you just got to look at your camera on your phone and you can automatically log into your video conference. That's pretty cool. Additional things that folks wanted us to build in new background features for virtual backgrounds, as well as we went ahead and we improved our audio and video quality. And the last thing that we did in 2.1 is that we opened up a set of APIs so that our partners, our reseller channel, can easily integrate this to third-party shopping carts. Because if you can integrate it easily to a shopping cart, it means you can sell it more easily. So everything we did here in 2.1 was looking at advancing the product so that we can get more sales.
Yeah, well, you're certainly in a hot industry, and please keep us up to date. George and Mark, great to have you today, and we look forward to updates.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Big thing about the American dream is we can dream big. We want to help you get to the next level. We are invested in your success, not merely your financial success, but in your independence.
Fox Business, invested in you. You fill up.
So to form a company where our word is our bond, we always meet our expectations or exceed them, it makes you kind of an all-star just by doing the stuff we were brought up to do. Work hard and keep your word, and that's what we do every single day.
Getting it done right the first time, doing it for the customer, doing it as a team. That's what you do in the Marine Corps, and that's what you do here at Semper.
Replace your old AC with a brand new energy efficient one. Made in America. And it comes with a lifetime warranty. It's the last AC you'll ever need to buy. As a local veteran owned and operated company, you can count on Semper Air to get the job done right with esprit de corps and honor. Get a complete energy efficient AC replacement for as low as $74.95 a month, or 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments until 2022. Call now or visit SemperAir.com.
Do you make frequent trips to the bathroom? Get up more than once a night? From urgency, hesitancy, or have a weak stream? Or worse, have a diminished sex drive? Call or go online right now to receive a free 30-day supply of Prosvent, the comprehensive non-prescription prostate formula developed by Harvard-trained internist Dr. Larry May.
It's the most comprehensive formula that's ever been developed.
Prosvent is so effective, it's guaranteed to provide relief in just 30 days, reducing frequency, urgency, and improving urinary flow. Prosvent is trusted by millions of men with over 150 million doses taken.
I wish someone had told me about it sooner.
Call or go online right now to freeprosvent.com to get your free bottle of Prosvent. You heard right, free bottle. Order right now and you'll also receive Dr. May's comprehensive guide to prostate health and a